Just a quick video to share with you an alternative planning method that may help you when it comes to completing paper 1 question 5. So this is a planning technique that you may find of use to answer the narrative questions for paper 1 question 5, and it can work really well if you've also got an image in front of you that contains a number of people, as it will allow you to draw some inspiration from the image as well as the writing prompt. So this picture can be found in your Snap Revision writing guides, so you could do the planning alongside me whilst you watch this video. So the question we're going to look at is write the opening of a story about a student who is doing a holiday job in a shop or a cafe. Remember, the question is relatively wide, and you just need to make sure that your narrative is something to do with that prompt. Remember, a narrative is a series of events created in an interesting way. So when it comes to planning a narrative, there are a few prompt questions you can ask yourself which may help you for one of these person-focused narrative options. So I'm just going to move that there. The first question you might ask yourself is, where are you? And bearing in mind that we are a student who's doing a holiday job in a shop or a cafe, I'm going to be at the counter of an ice cream shop. The next question you might want to ask you is, where or what are you walking towards? So what are you walking towards? So if I'm standing at the counter of an ice cream shop and then I've got to move to walk towards someone or something, what am I going to be walking towards? Well, I'm going to walk towards the tables of customers would be a logical thing for me to write about. The next question you might want to ask you is, what's on your left? What is to your left? And this allows you to start to build in some description. So to the left of me is a small child crying. And what is to your right might be the next question. And in this instance, it might be an elderly couple. An elderly couple sharing an ice cream. And then you might consider what is in front of you. And so this time it might be a group of teenagers. Just going to move this up a little bit, sorry. So a group of teenagers wanting to order. And then finally, we're going to consider which senses could we use. So we're going to need to think carefully now. So for example, I might decide to use the sound of hearing, and with that, and I'm thinking about where I grew up by the seaside, so I'm thinking that I'll be able to hear the sea, seagulls, chatter. It might be worth including what I can smell, so I'm thinking that I can smell the sea and fish and chips. Obviously, a lot of what I'm going to be able to see is going to be taken up with what's going on inside my narrative. But then, very quickly, what I've got here is a plan that I would be able to use to turn into my creative writing. So my first section of my story, my first paragraph, would be describing what I'm doing at the counter of the ice cream shop. The next section would be me moving from behind that counter, walking over to a table of customers. As I'm walking there, I pass a small child crying and an elderly couple. So each of these are a paragraph in themselves. And then finally, I get to the group of teenagers who are wanting to order. And that's when I can describe what it is that they want. And so here I've got a series of events that would allow me to construct a narrative, and these prompts are good for any question that involves a person. I hope that's been of use. Thank you.